Okay. So in the last class, like we saw, like cucumber, like how to write the scenarios in the cucumber with the help of the gherkin, and like how to create the project features, like all those things, like what we were exactly. We created a project and we wrote a features like cucumber feature over here, and we created a couple of features, and we also saw what are the different tags that we have, like given, when, then, all those tags, and we were able to write one specific scenario. Okay, so today like we'll see how to implement those scenarios. So like I said, like these are the scenarios that we first created with the help of the cucumber and the gherkin. So now our next step is to implement this. Like we need to write code or logic to do this specific task. Okay, and to do that, like we can use whatever the language that we want to, or whatever the languages that are supported by the cucumber. Like one is Java, we can use Java, we can use .NET, we can use Ruby, and there are a lot of other languages which are supported by cucumber. So you can use whichever the language that you want to, and you can implement those these features. Okay, so let's try to do that. So before that, like what I'll do is I'll comment these all the other scenarios. Okay, so hash is for comment, so just select them and click on, like you can say click on hash before the line, so it will treat it as a comment. Okay, so I will even comment this background also. Okay, and we have only like feature, then we have scenario, and we have this scenario here. Okay, so let's try to change this scenario a bit. Like user is on Amazon homepage, user clicks on sign in link on the home page, then user is on the login page. Okay, so should see this yeah, probably, yeah, we can do this. Okay, or like let me quickly change a little bit. So user should see password. Okay, okay, that's fine. Let's see. Okay, I don't need this one also. Okay, so this is our scenario. You should see this one. Okay, so let's save this. So this is our scenario that we created. So now like we need to implement that. So first thing that we need to do to implement this is like we need to have some jar files associated. Okay, so before that, like what I'll do is, so we need some jar files that we need to associate to our project. So I need to go to this September, like whatever the project, Java project that we created, right click on it, and then we need to go to properties. Same thing how we used to add it for the other thing. So Java build path, and here in the libraries we need to add or associate all the library files or the jar files that we needed. So for this, actually there are some jar files that we need to download, like which I already have it, and like I'll send you guys all these jar files. See, there is one called like cucumber-core 1.2.5, like this is the latest version for the cucumber core. We need this. Then cucumber Java, we need cucumber JUnit, like cucumber JVM DEPS, cucumber reporting, then we need gherkin, then like Selenium Java and Selenium standalone server, because these are the two for the Selenium, and all the others are related to the cucumber. So we need to have all these things. So now I'm planning to use the JUnit framework, so that's why we need to have JUnit. In case if you are planning to use testng with cucumber, like we can also use the testng. So we need to have cucumber-testng jar file, like we need to download that. Okay, but for now, like let's say I want to use this JUnit framework, so I'll just then downloaded this JUnit jar file. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to select those jar files and add it to our project. So I'll select all of them. Okay, and I'll click on open. Okay, see, I added all my jar files to here. Click on apply and click on OK. Okay, so the jar files, all the jar files, required jar files have been associated. And also, instead of creating this cucumber features folder in here, I'll create it in the source itself. So I'll just copy from here and paste it under this. Okay, so you will have your Cucumber features here, and I'll delete this one just to have everything at one location itself. Okay, so you have source, Cucumber features, one folder that we created, and the login feature in there. Okay, and now, okay, so like to execute this, so like this is just a scenario that we created in Cucumber. Okay, to execute this feature or to execute our Cucumber scenarios, like we need to have some runner files. Okay, we need to create one class which is called as like test runners, and in that, like we have to write some code to execute this. Okay, so let's see how to do that. See, I'll create one more folder over here. Probably I'll create one package. Okay, and name that package as probably something like test runners com dot, let's say test dot something like test runners. Okay, so we need a runner file or runner class to execute our Cucumber scenario. See, let's click on finish. See, like it's creating one here. So I'll create a class file like new file, or sorry, class. Okay, and give some name to it. Let's say we want working on the Amazon, so I'll give it as Amazon runner. Okay, so this is a Amazon runner that we want to create. So I don't want to have a main method here, so I'll just say finish. Okay, see, it created a Amazon runner dot Java. Okay, so now like what we need to do, so it's a like we want to use the JUnit, so that's why I'm creating a jar .java file. So if it is a testng, we need to create a testng class. So based on which framework that you want to use, we need to create that class. Okay, so now what we need to do here is, see, so before this, like whatever the class that we created, we need to say @run with cucumber dot class. Okay, @run with cucumber dot class. Okay, so and it says, it gives you an error and it says import run with, it's a org.junit.runner. So just say this, which imported that class. And we have one more error. It says syntax error. Okay, run with. The work is only, is it giving an error? Okay, let's see, let's type the next one, then it will do. And then @cucumber options. Okay, and open and close the bracket. Okay, so again we need to download something. See, cucumber this. Yeah, again it's throwing an error. Syntax error, insert enum identifier to complete enum header. It's the same thing. package.com.testrunners. This is right. Runner. Okay, let's see what is the issue here. Did we associate all the jar files? Let me see. Cucumber, Java, Cucumber reporting, Gherkin, Mockito, Selenium, Selenium standalone. Everything is here. Oh, see, we actually did not add the JUnit jar file. So we added the Cucumber JUnit jar file, but we didn't add the JUnit jar file. So let me add external jars. Where is it? Okay, I'll add this JUnit. See, apply and click OK. So now if I say still syntax error, insert enum identifier. Let me see in case if we are missing any other jars. We have everything in tabs. We associated all the jar files. Let me quickly open the runner. Let me copy this and paste it there and see what's the difference. Here we have com.test runners. We do org run with cucumber options and everything is there. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, I think like I put a semicolon in there, like we should not put a semicolon because this is a run with. So okay, so now like see at the rate this one, okay, and then we'll have the cucumber options. Okay, so we have the cucumber options, and then in these options like we have to specify where our feature file is. Okay, see, because we created a test runner file and we know our feature file is somewhere here, see, like login.feature. So this is our feature file, but this test runner needs to know the path or the folder name of that feature file. Okay, so how we need to give that is, see, features equal to src, which is our source, then slash cucumber features. Okay, so cucumber features, and we need to give backslash. Okay, so this is the path for the features. So features equal to source slash cucumber features is the folder name. So what it will do is it will go and execute what are the features that are present in that folder. Okay, so that's what the folder is, and then you have something called as glue. Okay, comma, which is for the next one, then glue equal to, we need to give the path. Okay, we'll see what this glue is then. So see, like I said, like we will execute this and then we'll create some path, like, or we need to execute whatever the scenario that we created, like we need to implement that scenario. That means we need to write logic or code to test this scenario. Okay, so that is nothing but called as steps, like implementing the steps for the scenario, and that steps where you are implementing, we need to provide that path. So because it needs to know where our code is, so for that reason, like we need to write the steps over here. So what I'll do is I'll create one more package over here, new package, and I'll say com dot, let's say test dot, let's say steps implementation. Okay, which is com.test.steps implementation or automation steps. We can give whatever that we want to. Let's say, let's give automation steps. Okay, let me copy this, click OK, finish. Okay, so it's just creating a folder. So what I want to do is whatever the files that I, or whatever the code that I written, I'll keep that code in this package, and I need to provide that path over here. Okay, see, like this, com.test.automation steps. Okay, so all my steps will be in this folder. So we need to provide the features, like whichever the features we want to execute, plus where their steps are. So we haven't written the steps yet. Okay, so now in the next step, like we'll write that step. Okay, see. Okay, and this class will be blank itself like this. We don't need to write anything in there. Okay, so whatever the class that we created, it will be blank. All we need to do is this. We need to add a @run with cucumber.class and @cucumber options. Those are the two things that we need to provide. Okay, so now what it means is, so using this Java, like Java file or the runner file, we can execute whatever the code that is there in this login.feature. Okay, so now see what I need to do is I'll run this. So I'll select this runner file, okay, on Amazon runner.java, or from here right click, say run as, see JUnit test, because it's a JUnit test, because we created it as a JUnit test and we associated the JUnit jar file to it. Okay, so that's why it's treating it as a JUnit test and we are executing that. So when you execute this, what the Cucumber will do is it is going to create a skeleton of the steps for us. Okay, so what are the steps that we have written in the scenario, it's going to create some skeleton to us. Okay, so let's see what that skeleton is. Okay, see I executed it, and if you see here it says one scenario is executed which took 33 milliseconds, and there are 7 steps in that scenario. Okay, so there are 7 steps in that scenario, and it says see you can implement missing steps with the snippets below. Okay, so what it does is it creates a skeleton for us. See, now I'll copy this skeleton. Okay, I'll copy this and go back to our package explorer, okay, and to automation steps, and I'll create one Java file there. Okay, so I'll say right click, then new, okay, and I can say class, okay, and I'll say let's say Amazon steps or Amazon automation steps or steps implementation, like whatever that we want we can give it. So just a class that we are creating, click on finish. Okay, see it will create a class, and just copy our whatever the code that we or the skeleton that got generated into this class. See inside the class I'm copying it, and if you see here, see I copied this, and if you see here, see @given user is on Amazon home page, and to implement, like this is a step that we have provided in the feature. See given user is on the Amazon home page. Okay, and if you see here, see given user is on the Amazon home page, and it will create a method for us. Okay, and in this method, see write code here that turns the phrase into concrete actions. Okay, so it's saying that it is going to create a skeleton for us, but in that skeleton you need to write your own code to make that step into an action which can be executed. Okay, so that's what this execution is. So now see if you see here @given, like there are some errors over here, so let's see what those errors are. See when you hover over @given, it's asking us to import given, which is cucumber.api.java.en. just select that, import. Okay, and see pending exception, just import that pending exception. Okay, and all the pendings are gone. See @when, import when, and then see then, import then. Okay, see all the errors are gone now. So now what we need to do is, now you can, like it has created a skeleton. Now whichever the language that you want to, using that language we can implement the steps. Okay, so now we thought that like we will be using the Java. So what I'll do is I'll create the Java code for us. Okay, so what I'll do is see public, like void user is on Amazon homepage. So our step is user should be on the Amazon homepage. So to do that, what we need to do, like we need to launch the browser, like whichever the browser that we want to, we need to launch that browser, and then we need to what we need to do, like what else, like we need to click on, or we need to navigate to the Amazon homepage. Like first open the browser, then go to Amazon homepage, and then like we need to verify whether we are on the home page or not. Okay, so all that code we need to write it here. So I can remove this throws new pending exception, okay, and also this line of code. So now what we need to do is we need to create the WebDriver. Okay, so we can use our WebDriver code and we can start using it. Okay, see something like this. So it's like WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver or the Chrome driver. Let's say if I say Firefox driver like this. Okay, so it's asking us to download import the WebDriver and import the Firefox driver. So change to Firefox driver. Okay, see, we created the WebDriver object. So and then like what we need to do is we need to navigate. So before this Firefox driver, we need to set the path. Okay, so let's take some code and try to set that. Let's use whatever the code that we previously created. Let me open one of the code, probably the Amazon homepage. Okay, see, here it is. Okay, and driver.get sleep, everything, let's copy. Okay, so instead of this, like let's say we have written the code for the Chrome, so let's use the Chrome one. Okay, see, and it's asking us to download, or before that, like let's create the WebDriver object. So I'll create that object outside, because so that we can use that variable everywhere in the class. So I'll say WebDriver driver like this. See, now the error is gone. So driver equal to new Chrome driver. If it is IE, we'll do WebDriver.IE driver. If it is a Firefox, then we'll do the WebDriver.Gecko driver, GECKO driver, and give that whichever the exe file that we have to that specific browser. Okay, and then we are saying, see, driver equal to new Chrome driver. Then we are going on to the Amazon homepage, and then thread.sleep. That's it. Okay, we can also write code to verify whether we are on the Amazon homepage or not. If not, we don't want to continue with the next step. Okay, so like this we can implement it. The system.set, same thing. In implementation does not change. Whatever that we learned in the WebDriver and in the Java, we can use again everything, even in the Cucumber also. Okay, and then see, so this is our first step that we implemented. See, next step, it says, see, public void user clicks on sign in link on the home page. So let me quickly open one browser, like an open Amazon in there. So with that first step, we are at this page. Okay, and now we want to click on this sign in button or sign in link. Okay, so let's do that. So all we need to do is same thing, driver dot find element, then by dot id or whatever the object that we want to use it, and then once you find it, dot click. Okay, so which we want to do it. Okay, so let me copy that variable. Okay, so this is the one to click on that link. So driver dot find element by id this dot click. Okay, and I want to wait for some time, so I'll say thread dot sleep for, let's say, 2 seconds like this. Okay, thread dot sleep. So this is our step. So user clicks on the home page or sign on link on the home page. Okay, and then see, user is on the login page now. So what we need to do is implement that step now. Okay, so I'll do this. Okay, so implementing is like user is on the login page. So you can check it, like you can check for one of the object and say find element and dot exists. So let me copy that. Maybe I'll use this email. Okay, so instead of send case, email dot email dot get class, get location, get size. See, is disabled, is enabled. So I can just check any of these value. Okay, and let me see if there is anything. Yeah. Okay, is displayed. Okay, so what it will do, it will give you some value. So something like, let's say, so it gives a true or false. So so we need to do a boolean email status equal to this. Okay, boolean email status is this, and I can just check if, maybe I'll add a if else statement. If email status, if that is true, then maybe I want to just report something. So this is a JUnit, we can only do system.out.println. Okay, so I can say edit box is or email, or I can say user is on login page after clicking sign in on home page. After clicking sign in on home page, just a description like what we actually tested. And in the same way, if not, so I'll copy this and I'll say, in case if it is not there, then I can say here pass user is on this, and I can say fail user is not on login page after clicking sign on in home page, something like this. Just a verification, so you to check whether user is on the login page or not. Okay, like that. And in case if it is a test ng, we can use our reporter and we can come out of that test whenever we want to, in case if it is a failure. Okay, so now, so next step. Okay, so we are saying that user should see edit box on the or email edit box. Okay, so again, whatever that we did previously, we can check that same thing here. It just says user should see email edit box, so which we already verified it here. So we can just copy the same thing here again. Or in the previous step, we can check something else, because we want to make sure that we are on the login page or the user is navigated to the login page. So instead of checking email, we can check something else. Okay, maybe some, yeah, the sign on message or something like new to Amazon or some message, we can also verify that. Okay, so now this, and then so next step, see users should see password edit box. Same thing, whatever that we did, like we need to check for the edit box also. So for now, I'll just try it, or maybe we can use the same line of code and just change the object there. Okay, so instead of email, we need to say, let me open the Firefox. We need to get the property for the password object, or we might have it here. Oh yeah, this is the one. We have used XPath there, so instead of again checking there, so let me use that one itself. Okay, see driver dot find element dot this. Okay, so driver dot this to till here dot is displayed, like this. So your message should change. So you, okay, password edit box is displayed on probably login page. Okay, if not, we can say password edit box is not displayed on login page. So same thing here also. Okay, instead of password, I need to say email edit box. Okay, and here also same thing. Email edit box is not displayed, fail, something like that. Okay, so like this, for each and every step, we need to write the implementation. And now it says user should see the sign on button on the login page. Same thing, but we need to check with different object. So it is the sign in button. Okay, so come here and delete these 2 lines of code. Okay, and I can just copy the same thing and change the values. or change the object. So which is this. Okay, so driver dot find element. Like this. Okay, so I can change the email the variable also. Say sign in status and pass that sign in status here. Okay, because we are changing the name of the variable, so I can say password edit box. Now sign in button is displayed, and I can say sign in button is not displayed on the login page, like this. Okay, and finally, like you says, it says user should see create your Amazon account or whatever, like that button on here. So which is, say, Amazon, and here, okay, this create your Amazon account button. Okay, see, so you can copy the same thing and just change the value. Okay, so instead of copying the same text everywhere again and again, we can just create one generic method and also use that method also. Okay, so just like for these 4 steps, the status and then some message also, we can just create one method and use that method also. Okay, so this is, instead of sign in button, we'll say create account button status. Okay, and I'll use that here. Okay, and get the property of this button. So you go to the Firebug, then get this. See, create your account, and it has a ID which is create account submit. So I'll use that. Okay, and it's not a CSS selector, and it's a ID, like this. Okay, and I can say create account button, and here also the same thing, create account button. Okay, so this, so all the steps implementation has been completed. Okay, so now all we need to do is execute it. See, just trying to delete the empty lines from there so that it's easy for us to understand. See, like this. And also see, we have a minus symbol over here. If you click this, it's gonna just like minimize them. See, like this. Okay, just for clear understanding. So see, so these are the steps and the code. So if you want to again see, then we just need to click on this plus button, which will like open that specific tag. See, like this. Okay, so click on save button, and now let's go back to the feature or the runner. So we implemented the steps for all of them. See, just like save it. Okay, see, all the whatever the symbols were there, like the warning symbols, all the symbols have been gone. Okay, because that step has been implemented. So in case if you don't have that step implemented, then it's going to give that warning symbol. And not only that, see, like there we created that steps or implemented the steps in different files like Amazon automation steps.java. Okay, like that. So now if you want to directly go from the scenario also, we can go. All we need to do is just press a control and control key and click on this line. Somehow is not going, but what it will do is when we click on control and click on this line of code, like whatever the scenario that we have step, it will take us to the file where you have the implementation. Okay, so somehow it's not taking it from here, which it should take. Okay, but it will go into that step implementation. So now let's try to execute this. So to execute this, we need to go to the Amazon runner. All we need to do is right click, run as JUnit test. So now it will see it's launching the driver. Okay, so the whatever the browser that we selected, it's running that, like it launched it. See, now it's going inside. Okay, looks like the execution is done. Okay, see, all of them got passed, and it says pass, pass, pass. User is on the login page. After clicking it, like pass, email edit box is displayed, password is displayed, sign in is displayed, create account is displayed, and there is only one scenario, and there are 7 steps in that scenario. Okay, and even it has some time also. See, 32 milliseconds, 32, like to execute that scenario it took 32 milliseconds, and like this. So all of them got passed. And even if you see here, like see, there are 7 steps, like 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7 steps here. So this is how like we can write the scenario and implement that scenario with the help of this runner class. Okay, so using the runner class, like we need to provide that information, and then what it will do is it's gonna execute the all the scenarios that are there in the feature file. Okay, in case let's say if you have like 10 feature files and you have like 10 and each feature file has like 10 scenarios. Let's say if you do like this, like it's going to execute all the feature files one by one. First it will execute the first feature file, then it will go into the second one, then third, fourth, like that. Okay, in case if you want to only execute one feature file, so what we can do is cucumber features slash login. Okay, the name of the feature, or we have to say login dot feature. Then what it will do is it will only execute that specific feature file itself. Okay, and like even if you have 10 feature files in that folder, it's only going to execute this one specific feature file. Okay, and also we can have multiple scenarios in our file. Okay, so now what I'll do is, see, I'll try to create a small another file so that we can also do the background for it. Okay, so I'll create one more file. Okay, file, and I'll name it as, let's say, background dot feature. Okay, so I'm giving the name as background dot feature or background example dot feature, background scenario dot feature. Okay, just a name of the file. Okay, see, it created the some like sample code, which I'll delete it, and I'll only copy some of them. This okay, and yeah, that's it. So let me copy this. I don't know to type it again. So same thing, like feature, then let's say Amazon login functionalities, then the description. Then what I want to do in the background is user should be, let's say, or user should be on Amazon homepage. Okay, so this is my background. Background is like for every scenario, whatever the code that you have in the background will be executed. Okay, so I'll have this. So okay, I just copied that. Like, let me paste that into a notepad. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's just keep background. User should be on the Amazon homepage. Then let's say verify Amazon homepage is one scenario. Okay, or verify Amazon. Let's say, let me open that page. Okay, let's say verify your Amazon.com link. Okay, verify your amazon.com, okay, Amazon link on home page. Okay, step is only one thing. Given user is on Amazon homepage, or then, and I can directly give then verify Amazon link. Okay, verify your Amazon link. Okay, just one step. So let's say I have one more scenario. Okay, verify, let's say today's deals, or maybe sell link. Okay, verify sell link. Let's say for each and every verification, let's say we have some scenarios. Verify sell link on home page, user is on Amazon homepage, verify sell link. Okay, or verify sell link, Amazon link should be displayed. Okay, just to be more meaningful, like this. Okay, verify sell link should be displayed. Let's say, let's take the third scenario, and let's say our third scenario is to verify help link. Okay, so I'll come back and say verify help link. Okay, just an example, like let's say in case if there are multiple things that we are repeating. Okay, so in all these three scenarios, what's happening, like the first thing is same, user is on the home page, or user should be navigated to the home page. Okay, should be navigated, okay, or should be on the home page, should be okay. Okay, so for all of them, like user should be on the home page, like you need to open the browser, okay, and verify something, okay, and close the application, let's say. Okay, and this is also same. Okay, like this. So we have three different scenarios and we are doing three different things over here. Okay, now if you see here, see, like you have the symbol here, okay, which says that like it's a symbol which specify that you don't have the steps implemented for that, like it's a warning symbol to tell us the steps verification. Okay, so all these things. So now what I'll do, I'll execute this so it creates a skeleton to me. Okay, so let's go back to our Amazon runner. So I don't need to create a new runner for this because we already have a runner. All we need to do is just change the file name. Okay, I'll say, see, background scenario dot feature. Okay, so the name of the feature file that you need to provide. So now what it will do is it will execute all these scenarios. Like as there are three scenarios, it's going to execute all those three scenarios for us. That means it's going to create a skeleton for all the three scenarios. See, let's run this and see. See, right click, run as JUnit test. Okay, so it took the first one also. See, because of the folder path, I guess, so it took the first one also. So let it execute. No. Okay, actually it executed all the other three scenarios also, and as we have the thread before class, so it opened the browser multiple times, but like we'll fix that like when we see something called as tags, like we have something called tags, so because of that it's executing everything. But for now, see, let's take all our steps. Okay, see, it says you have to implement these missing steps, so let's copy them. Okay, and we can create it in the same file. Whatever the Amazon steps that you have, we can also copy those steps here and implement it here, or we can also have a different file created and have steps in there. Okay, so we can create a new class file and have steps in it. Okay, so let's do that probably. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go to the steps, right click, new class, and I'll give it name as, let's say, background steps. Okay, background steps IMPL, which is implementation, and click on finish. Okay, and I'll copy them here. Okay, and now if you see here, it says public void verify Amazon link is displayed, then close the application, then sell link is displayed. Something is missing. Let's see which one it is. We only have Amazon link, close application, and sell link. I don't know, somehow it did not do this sell link. Oh, okay, see, actually here and this step, it's almost same, so that's why it did not create one more. Okay, so it only created, see, one line of code for this, okay, one for this, okay, and user is on Amazon homepage. Okay, even that one did not get executed because we already implemented that in the other file. So if you see here, see, user is on Amazon homepage. See, this is already there. So it knows it, like in case if you have any step which is already implemented, so it's not going to create the skeleton for that specific step. Okay, so as that is why, see, it only created for these three of them, which is, see, sell link, which is like your Amazon link, your sell link, and close application. So even though close is for 3 times, it knows that it's only the same step that you are using it. So that's why it did not create that step. So what I will do is I'll just copy this one. Okay, over here. As it did not create the step for us, so I'll just copy that. Even if you don't copy it, it will go and get it from there. So it can even do that. Okay, so let's do this. Or I can just change that step to a little bit and say user is on Amazon homepage 1, page 1, page 1. Okay, so now if I run, it will do it, but I'll just add that here, page 1. Okay, page 1. Okay, so now it's asking us to create a driver. So I'll say web driver. Okay, because we're using that variable over here, and download that web driver, import it. Okay, and again, see, again we need to import @then import the pending exception. Okay, like this. Okay, so now what we need to do is, again, we need to implement for these 3 steps. And also it did not create the background because we haven't given it properly. So we just gave background, but we need to give the tags also for it, given this. Okay, so this is the name of the background. Okay, see, for this one it doesn't have the implementation, so that's why it's giving a warning. So I'll run it again so that it will create a step for us. See, right click. So let me close all the browsers. Okay, and will comment this so that it doesn't execute, or otherwise it's going to open the browser. So I'll just keep it like this and run it again. Okay, let me even comment all of these guys so that it just executes our current code. So I'll say right click and run this. Okay, see, it implemented the step for us, even that background step. Okay, user should be on the Amazon homepage. Okay, so I'll copy even this one in the steps over here, like this. Okay, and I will copy that code to open the browser and to navigate to the application. Okay, so now background has the code to open the browser, and the close step, say close application. Let's close the browser by saying driver.close. Okay, and all the other things let's just write the simple basic message in there. See system.out.println inside Amazon homepage method. Okay, and in the same way, or here, see system.out.println inside Amazon link verification method. It's pretty simple. I'll again walk through you with all the steps again, but for now let's complete this. See, okay, like this. So same step, whatever that we did in the previous first script, we also did the same thing, but only added a background. Okay, so only added a background like this, given user should be on the Amazon homepage. Okay, see, now what will happen is, whenever we execute the script, like whenever we execute this feature, so it will first execute this first scenario. So before even executing the scenario, what it will do is, whatever that is there in the background, it is going to execute that code. Okay, so first it will execute the background, then the first scenario, then it will execute the background, then the second scenario, it will execute the background and the third scenario. Okay, so that's what the background is. So based on like whatever the code that is there in the background, that will be executed before each and every scenario that is there in that feature file. Okay, so see, now if I run this, I'll go to the Amazon runner, right click, run as JUnit test. See, so now it's launching for the first one. Okay, see, closing the application. Now again it will launch. So background has this code to open the browser and navigate to Amazon. So that is what it is doing it. See, now third time. See, background we only wrote once, but it is being executed 3 times for each scenario. See, like this. Okay, so first is, see, it opened the browser, then we are on the Amazon homepage method, like Amazon link verification method. Then again it opened it, see, second time, then Amazon link verification. Okay, third time link verification. Looks like we gave the same message in all the 3 steps. Okay, see, homepage, then link. Okay, yeah, so as we did the same thing, see, this one, then homepage, then link verification, then again background, homepage, link verification, like that. Okay, so that's what it's going to do. So before executing each and every step, it's going to do that. Okay, so that's what the background is. So basically all we did is we did the same steps, creating the scenarios in the Gherkin, then we executed that with the help of our runner file. Okay, so the runner will be the same, all we will change is just the name of the feature file. Okay, so once you change the feature file, it will go and execute that specific feature file, and if the step is not there, it's going to give the skeleton for us. So all I did is took the skeleton from there, copied it, and created a new file, like new class, wherein I created a new class called background step dot implementation. Okay, and pasted those steps in here. Whatever the skeleton that we got, I pasted it over here, and then I implemented all the steps, like whatever the step is there. So based on what task we want to perform on that step, we implemented it. Okay, and with the background, what it does, whatever that is there in the background code, is going to execute that code before each scenario. That's the only thing that we need to know. So background, anything that you want to do it for all the 3 scenarios or all the scenarios in the feature file, we'll put that into our backgrounds, which will be executed before the scenario. Okay, in case if you don't have this background, what we need to do, we need to copy this in all the 3 scenarios, somewhere like this, here, then here, and again here. Okay, so to avoid that, we have the background, so which we can do, which we can use and have code at only one place. Same thing like a method or a function that we have, so we can just create and reuse that in all the places. So whenever there is a change, we can just come here and change it. So we don't need to go to each and every scenario and update that. So that's what the benefit of background is. Okay, and like in the next topic, like what we'll do is, now see, we have, if you are 3 scenarios, we are able to, like we need to execute, when we run it, it is executing all the 3 scenarios. But what we can do is we can tag them, okay, which we'll see in the next class. Like we can tag them and we can only execute whatever the scenarios that we want to. Okay, so for now, like try to create the class file, like try to create these scenarios and create a runner, try to execute it and implement those with the help of the WebDriver. So you can use the same thing, Java JUnit, or you can also use the TestNG, whichever that you want to. Just try to use that and implement those steps. Okay, so this is how like we can use the Cucumber as well as the JUnit and do it. So the main benefit is, see, the scenarios are in English. Like you can see it, and looking at the scenario itself, everybody in the team can understand what we are doing it. What the developer is doing, what the testers are doing, and what the application is doing, they can easily understand. Like the business people or non-technical people in the project, they can understand it easily, what our application should do, or they can test it easily. Okay, so try to practice it and like let me know if you guys have any questions. So any questions now? Let me unmute you all.